and welcome to the Savvy Gadgetz channel with me, Ven, and today we are looking at Graveyard Keeper. As you can tell, I've got the voice of an angel thanks to a cold, so I'm going to be taking this as slowly as I can so that I can actually save my voice to some degree. So if you've never played Graveyard Keeper, the title doesn't really give away the entirety of the game. Only part of it is looking after the graveyard. And so let's go in and take a look. So here we are in our home, and when you start the game, you're this character here, and he's thrust into this world, and the idea is you need to use the portal on Witch Hill to enable you to get home to your loved one. Now there's a very long, convoluted set of quest lines that you will need to complete in order to get the items that you need to create the objects to open the portal. So, first important thing to notice is you have a few chests around which you can open. You can sleep in your bed, which heals you and gives you back your energy, which is the blue bar in the top left hand corner. You can prepare food there with very different pieces of ingredients, and then you can then cook it. In order to cook it, you need fuel, and you need to get fuel either from wood or from coal, which you can dig out of the ground or you can chop down trees. Now, obviously you have a cellar. We'll get back to the cellar because the cellar is quite important, but we'll step outside. So, the other thing that's worth noting is the dial on the top left-hand corner. Now, each day of the week is represented by a symbol, and on each particular day, an NPC will turn up at a different location, or you'll, in the case of the purple disc with lots of dots around it, which is tomorrow's event, you can go and do a sermon in the church, for which you get faith and money. Faith is used to create some items, and in some cases it's needed for some of the quests. Okay, so what you have here are stockpiles of wood, stockpiles of stone, and there is a different stockpile over here for iron. You have different preparation areas, so crafting different pieces of wood. And again, another but more convoluted piece of wood, so you can create firewood, wood wedges from the other table, so from there. So from this one here, you create the wooden billets or the filch, and then at this one you take the billets and turn them into firewood or wood wedges, and then it goes on a little bit further for crafting carpentry. For some reason you can create iron chisels here and armour, but you can create planks, carved wood, joints and wood repair kits, and varying bits and pieces that you would use in the graveyard. Now beyond that you also have the water well, pottery crafting, ceramic bowls, iron crafting for varying bits and bobs, so create your swords here. And it is important to note there is actually a dungeon that you can travel through here. Have furnaces for smelting different types of ore, then stone carving to create better headstones and fences. Then you also have here further down you have like a garden, and up here just on the right of Witch Hill, just up there, just dive around. Just here you can see there's a vineyard. Now what you can see is I've got various people working there. They're in fact zombies, and you create zombies because you're the graveyard keeper. What you can do is, as part of the game, is you don't just look after the graveyard, but you also look after the bodies that are delivered to you. A donkey, a talking donkey no less, drops the bodies off for carrots, which you bung in this box here, and then they're delivered through this chute, which you have to clear out, and then you have an autopsy table where you pull out bits and pieces of the body to improve the bodies. Then you have embalming. Using different fluids you improve the quality of the body, which then affects the quality of the graveyard. Now you're going to think I'm nuts, because that's just how the game is. Right, so if we dive in here, you can see that some of these graves are of a value 10, like these two down here, and some of them are value 1. And the difference is the quality of the headstone and surround, and the quality of the body inside it. Now you can see this has lots of white skulls, and that one has a few reds, so it is of less quality, so it gives you less score, hence it's only a 1, whereas those are worth 10. Right, so here we have an NPC turning up outside the church, and every day when you have the purple disc in play, the bishop will turn up and you can talk to him and sell things to him, but on this particular day you can run a sermon, and you do that in the church. Okay, so here we are in the church. We don't actually have a sermon on us at the moment. We've got plenty of faith though, so we'll just dive down into the basement. Now the basement is connected to your home, and it's connected to the autopsy lab. As you see just around here, there it is, there's the autopsy lab. Oh, and I forgot, this is Jerry. Jerry is the talking skull. He will give you your first set of quests, but I'm here to pick up a sermon, which I keep in here. Now all of this is crafted. Now you can craft all sorts of different sermons, but I'll take that one. You have alchemy tables, which you can craft different, in this case, potions. But you have a more basic alchemy level that takes 2 ingredients, where you can create all sorts of other bits and pieces. You have a research station, where you can research different items and study them, so you need science and faith for that. That's where the faith comes into it, which is why you need to confirm the sermons. And then you have a writing desk, where you can create the sermons that you're going to preach to the crowd, basically. And the better quality your church, because all of the furnishings you have to build, including the chairs, the candelabras, the better quality they are, the more faith you get, the more money you get from the collection box. So you quickly do a sermon. Your church needs to be a particular quality for the sermon, which is a 60 crucifixes, to have a 100% success chance. If it's a bit below that, it'll be less. So you just basically go there. Now you do keep your sermon, you don't have to keep crafting them, but it's a very short service, as you're about to see. Our church is great. Nice. And then you perform this bit of magic. Lovely. And then once it's all over, everybody leaves. And you can pick up your faith. Now sometimes people turn up in the confessional. It gives you a little bit more faith, and then you can collect the money. There we go, job done. And then we carry on about our day. Now, there is a big list of NPCs. If you press the tab key, you can see the inventory of the character and the bits and bobs they are carrying. You can see the technology tree. Now, the different technologies are quite interesting. You have the anatomy technology tree. Then you have the theology, which is to do with the church. Writing, farming and nature, smithing, and building. So, now, that's pretty much everywhere that you need in the game, but there are a lot of other areas. So you have your garden here, and you have your zombies. So each one of these zombies is doing a particular action. This guy's growing onions. That doesn't have a guy, so if we take this bloke from up here, who used to be creating saws, planks of wood on the saw, we can bung him there, and then he will start crafting onions. whereas this guy's crafting meat. Now you can see that the onion has a gold star on it. The gold star represents quality, and there are 3 different levels of quality. There's bronze, silver and gold, gold being the best. Now throughout the game you will need money, you will need to craft different bits and pieces, you will need to research different bits and pieces, and then complete the quest chain. So, NPCs. So Jerry is an NPC, he gives you your first set of quests. The astrologer turns up and it tells you which day he is going to appear outside the lighthouse. Then you have the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor turns up on Witch Hill. The Snake is one of the dodgy characters. He's sort of like the underground thief assassin type character. He turns up on the Green Day. He turns up in underneath the church, so you'll find him there. The Merchant turns up at town where we haven't been yet. Miss Charm turns up in the local tavern. The Bishop, as we've seen on whatever that disc is supposed to represent, the purple disc, turns up outside the church. The Donkey only turns up when you supply carrots in the box. Clotho, she lives off to the left in the swamp. Yorick. Now, Yorick's quite an interesting character because he, in the Stranger Sins DLC, you can create your own tavern. And that's what these zombies are doing. Once you create zombies, they get them to grow hops and wheat and grapes, which you then turn into alcohol and then supply to your tavern. And then that gets sold, and then you get money from that. And then you have to build up a good quality tavern. The other characters don't seem to have much to do other than be incidental, and you go to them from time to time and supply them with a few items, and they will come back and give you something else to do. Okay, so a big part of the game are the zombies. Once you've prepared corpses in the autopsy area and you've embalmed them, you have the choice. You can either inter them into the graveyard, you can burn them as part of a crematorium, or you can turn them into zombies. Now, the zombies are a big part of the game because they are part of the automation of the game. Now, there are very different parts of the game that you can automate. Obviously, farming is one of them, and I've got 3 guys here. But with the tavern, you need to supply the tavern with alcohol. And to do that, what you do is you've got like a few guys here creating grapes and 1 guy creating hops. Notice that they're gold star level. The better quality alcohol you provide, the better star quality your tavern will be. I will show you the tavern in a minute. But then you've got this guy here. He will transport the goods that these guys create from here to the underneath of my hut. So he toddles down here, round the back there, and inside, and then into the trapdoor, where I've got other guys creating wine and beer. Then once that is created, once those are created, the other porter, who's usually standing here, you'll see him walking by in a minute, takes the alcohol through the tunnel system, which is all connected to the underneath of the church. It's also connected to, it's also connected to the merchant's hut, which is here. Something else that you need to build stuff for and supply goods for. That brings you up inside near town. That's just outside the merchant's hut, which is where the local tavern is. And then dive round the corner here. When we reach it, it's quite a bit of a stretch. So, oh, looks like I'm out of alcohol. Jerry's taken up residence there as well. This is the underneath of your tavern. So here we are in the tavern, and Yorick is this guy standing behind the bar, being the barman serving drinks when you've actually got them stocked up underneath. And it's another way of generating cash. So I've upgraded the tavern as part of the quest line, and that's to do with the hunchback. But never mind. and obviously collect money. And then that's all part of Stranger Things. I've got another zombie out here who's being a greeter. And then it's only just outside town. So, we are in a position to complete the game. So I'm going to head to Witch Hill and we're going to see the ending. But if you didn't think that Graveyard Keeper was more than just looking after a graveyard, then you'd be sorely mistaken. There is a lot to it. I have thoroughly enjoyed playing it, and I hope that you do too. It was really cheap over Christmas, and the Stranger Things DLC was about £7. The actual game, when I brought it, was less than a £5. So, here we go. Up to Witch Hill.
Croissant, Piron. Moellon. Piron, croissant, Piron.
And there you are, that is the end of Graveyard Keeper. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found Graveyard Keeper a little bit more interesting than you thought it was going to be, and that I've introduced you to the different facets of the game. Thanks for watching. Hopefully my throat will be better for the next video, which I'm hoping to do some Star Citizen with. But until then, have a great time. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, this is me out. Bye-bye.